Aguas de Marco, The Waters of March, by Brazilian composer Antonio Carlos Jobim. It's a stick, it's a stone, it's the end of the road, it's the cut of the stump, it's a little alone, it's a sliver of glass, it is life, it's the sun, it is night, it is death, it's a trap, it's a gun. The oak when it blooms, a fox in the brush, a knot in the wood, the song of a thrush. It's the wood in your hand. It's a cliff. It's a fall. It's a scratch. It's a lump. It is nothing at all. It's the wind blowing free. It's the end of the slope. It's a beam, it's a void, it's a hunch, it's a hope. And the riverbank calls to the waters of March. It's the end of the pain. It's the joy in your heart. It's the foot, it's the ground, it's the flesh and the bone, it's the bend in the road, it's the slingshot stone. It's a fish, it's a flash, it's a silvery glow, it's a fight, it's a bet, it's the twang of a bow, it's the bed of the well, it's the end of the line, the dismay in your face, it's a loss, it's a find, it's a spear, it's a spike, it's a point. It's a nail. It's a drip. It's a drop. It's the end of the tale. It's a truckload of bricks in the soft morning light. It's the sound of a shot in the dead of the night. It's a mile. It's a must. It's a thrust. It's a bump. It's a girl. It's a rhyme. It's a cold. It's the mumps. It's the plan of the house. It's the body in bed and the car that got stuck. It's the mud. It's the mud. It's a float. It's a drift. It's a flight. It's a wing. It's a hawk. It's a quail. It's the promise of spring. And the riverbank talks of the waters of March. It's the promise of life. It's the joy in your heart. It's a stick. It's a stone. It's the end of the road. It's the cut of the stump. It's a little alone. It's a snake. It's a stick. It is John. It is Joe. It's a thorn in your hand and a cut in your toe. It's a point, it's a grain, it's a bee, it's a bite, it's a blink, it's a buzzard, it's the stroke of midnight. It's a pin, it's a needle, it's the first drop of rain. It's a snail, it's a riddle, it's a wasp, it's a stain. It's a pass in the mountains, a horse and a mule. In a story you hear, and you know that it's true. And the river talks on of the waters of March. It's the promise of life come alive in your heart. It's a stick, it's a stone, it's the end of the line. It's the cut of a stump. It's a long, lonesome road. It's a sliver of glass. It's a life. It's the sun, it's a knife, it's a death, it's the end of the run. And the riverbank calls to the waters of March. It's the end of all pain. It's the joy in your heart.